Oh my God, she's about to hit 35K soon. She's getting old. You know, living in Chicago is cool and all to have the big city and all that, but sometimes it's way more peaceful to come to places like this that are just outside the city and just kind of chill out, you know? What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy Nick from the Getthisnick channel. We are back with another video of the 2004 Lincoln Town Car Ultimate. If you guys have been keeping up with the channel and keeping up with my content, you guys know I did a top 5 things I love video about the Lincoln Town Car, where I sat and I rambled about all the things I really like about the car. But we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna go to the flip side of it, and we're gonna do the top things I hate about the Lincoln Town Car. Now, I obviously don't hate this car. I love this car, but there are some very, very minuscule minor things that I've noticed about the car that I kind of like question. I don't really like. It's kind of just like minor inconvenience stuff, and it's very, very small, petty things. So don't go in the comments and be like, oh my God, you're just crying and complaining about this, and this. It's such a thing. I know the things I'm mentioning in this video are very small, minute, minuscule things, but because I did that top 5 things I love video, I got to do the flip side of it. So let's just get right into it. See, like, how does that even happen there? I mean, what? So actually, the majority of these things I notice are in the interior of the car. So we got to come in here to talk about it. So the first thing I noticed was actually on my 2-hour ride home from Michigan, where I actually bought this car when I drove it back to Chicago. And I was about like 30 minutes, 45 minutes into the drive home where I recognized this. And I guess Lincoln thought this was going to be a good idea, but it kind of just like, I wish they wouldn't have done this. So the seats and the center armrest right here, the material, the leather and like the plushness of the seats and this armrest are super, super soft. It's like, I mean, it literally feels like you're sitting on a couch in someone's front room, living room. It is just like very, very nice, high quality feeling material. And obviously as you're driving, your right arm is kind of resting, or your elbow is kind of resting right here, and boom, you drive. So it's nice. However, when you move over to the door panel here, Lincoln did something from the factory where they put this little storage compartment in, which is like, it's pretty deep. It's like a nice little storage compartment, but I really don't use it for anything. And because they use this as a storage compartment, this material that they have here is almost like a, I don't know, it's like a, not like a rubber, it's just like a harder material. It's not like how the armrest is or the center console. It is like this creaky, like more, you know, stiffer material. And my dad actually had a 2007 Lexus LS 460, and that was the nice thing about that, because this, you know, anything you had your arm resting on, it was very, very soft. Where this, if you don't have the radio on and you're just kind of cruising and you got your arm on here, any little bump or pressure, you hear like creaking, and it also is like, it's rougher on your arm. It's like a stiffer material compared to this. So that was one thing I noticed where I was like, come on. And I get it. I guess, you know, for storage purposes or whatever, you know, they thought maybe it'd be nice to have like a little compartment in the door like that, which I see, but it's like, I don't know, to jeopardize the driver, you know, the driver's seat comfortability and the main person that's going to be driving the car, to make it, I don't want to say it feels cheap, but it does in a sense, because it's creaking. I don't know. I wish that I would much rather have the material from the center console right here just go through right there as well. And that way, any way you rest your arms, your elbows, whatever, when you're driving, it feels soft, plush, and nice. The second thing I noticed was right here, you know, most vehicles will have that little drop-down compartment where you could put sunglasses and stuff. This car does not have one. We simply just have your lights, your dome light controls, your backup sensor off, and your home link stuff, and your mode buttons, and then you have a digital compass that appears on this little screen that tells you what direction you're facing, which I guess is helpful. But nowhere for sunglasses, which I thought was odd because any other car I've ever had always had that little drop-down container. So usually I just keep them in here. They're not in here right now, but I usually keep my sunglasses in here, which is fine. But it's like I said, it was just like one of those things I noticed after living with the car now for a little bit, where I'm like, I never ran into that issue before. I always had that little drop-down container, and I don't know, Lincoln, I guess they were just like, they thought it looked better like this, more clean, whatever. They thought it wasn't necessary. But so they put the storage in the armrest. I don't know. The third issue I noticed is actually with the seat controls. Now, I have it all the way back and all the way down, but for some reason I still just have a sense where I'm like too close to the dashboard in this car. Now, to mention my dad's 2007 LS460 again, when I drove that car, I felt like I had way more of an option to push the seat further and further back, where I could actually have my legs, you know, not bunched up or feel like I got to keep my knees tucked under the steering wheel or anything like that. Where with this car, it's not to the point where it's uncomfortable, but it's like when I did bring this seat all the way back, I kind of still sat in the chair and was like, that's it, like that's all I got. And I know for a lot of other people, you're not that tall, you might not have the longest of legs like I do, so you don't have this issue. But for me at least, I don't know, I feel like the seats in the car should have been able to go just a little bit further back, and it would have made it really, really nice. But I don't know, it's something I got to deal with. And I know a lot of you guys probably thought I was going to complain about the gas mileage in these things, and honestly, I'm not, because I feel like a lot of people do. But for what it is, a big, heavy rear-wheel drive car with a 4-speed transmission, if you can get 20 miles per gallon, you know, high teens out of it, 17, 18, 19, that's fine with me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I came from having the Ford Raptor, so anything is better than that. So I'm not going to complain about the gas mileage on it. Drive it with a light foot, and you'll be fine. Like I already said in my last video, I feel like the MPGs, the gas mileage, that's a small price to pay for everything else you're getting for the car. And like I already stated, I know these things that I'm talking about are very, very small things, but that's like literally all I got. I mean, I don't hate this car. I didn't buy the car because I hate the car, but if there was anything I had to mention that is kind of like a minor inconvenience or something that I noticed, it would probably be those three things. But besides those very, very small things, the Lincoln Town Car has been great. As you guys already saw, she's about to hit 35,000 miles. So just going to keep posting content, keep daily driving it, and seeing how long we can get out of the Lincoln Town Car. We definitely got to get some window tint on this thing. This car is like a complete fishbowl. There's absolutely zero tint on it, and I really need to do that because it's getting to the point now where it's starting to like bother me. But that's going to conclude the video. Hope you guys have been liking the content. As always, drop a comment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I appreciate all you guys reaching out.